It's been over 7 years since I've used the Autoimmune Protocol, or AIP Diet, to put my Hashimoto's and celiac diseases into remission. And I haven't flared since. But my diet looks a lot different right now, and honestly, it may surprise you. Today, I'm sharing what I actually eat now, what I still avoid, and why I think that my results have lasted this long. So, if you're considering doing the AIP diet for an autoimmune disease like Hashimoto's and are wondering if the results will stick, or if you're just wondering what somebody with Hashimoto's and is thriving is doing on a daily basis for their diet, then this video is for you. And if you're new here, I'm Michele Spring. I'm an autoimmune health and life coach, and I thrive with my own Hashimoto's and celiac disease, and I have helped hundreds of others thrive with their autoimmune diseases as well. So I was first diagnosed with hypothyroidism back in 2006, and I was immediately put on levothyroxine. And at first, I started to feel better. All of my symptoms went away. But then over the next 8 years, they slowly started coming back until it got much, much worse around 2014. In 2014, though, I hit rock bottom. I was exhausted all of the freaking time. Bone deep exhaustion. I could not seem to lose weight. I was gaining weight. My hair was falling out. I had horrendous periods. And I felt like my body was shutting down. I didn't even have enough energy to play board games with my toddlers at the time. So I didn't have nearly enough energy to be an effective mom or wife or coworker or anything in my life. And every time I went to the doctor, he would just take tests, and if my TSH was off, he would just adjust my thyroid medication, which seemed to happen every other month. Or he would take my TSH and it would be normal, and he'd say, well, it's normal. We can't adjust anything. Everything's fine. So really the only thing I could do was take medication. But yet I felt like a walking zombie, and I knew something wasn't right. So eventually I took matters into my own hands, and I found a functional medicine practitioner who did the test to discover that I had Hashimoto's and celiac autoimmune diseases. No idea that I had an autoimmune disease or that my body was attacking itself. But luckily I learned that, and he recommended that I do the AIP diet. And at that point, I was desperate enough to feel better because I felt so terrible that I was like, I'll start tomorrow. And then within a few weeks of starting AIP, I felt better than I had in over 15 years. So I did the strict elimination portion of AIP for 3 months, which meant no gluten, dairy, grains, eggs, nuts, seeds, or nightshades. And then I slowly reintroduced foods one by one over the next year. A few foods didn't agree with me at first. They gave me terrible side effects like eggs and paprika. But eventually, after more healing, I was able to tolerate those as well. The only food that I have not intentionally reintroduced ever has been gluten. And that's because of my celiac disease. And the times that I've accidentally gotten it have been the single worst hours of my life. So painful. So that's not coming back. But the AIP elimination gave my body the reset that it needed. It helped to calm inflammation, heal my gut, and give me a clean slate to which to rebuild. And my results in 2014 lasted for quite some time. But then they slowly started getting worse again. And in 2018, I went back and I did another round of AIP for a month. Why do I think I had to do it again? Well, I'll explain that in a minute. But ever since 2018, I have not had any thyroid symptoms. And I've lived with all-day energy, a stable weight. And I never have to worry about, oh, will tomorrow be a good day or a bad day? I just wake up knowing it's going to be a good day. So these days, my diet is a lot more flexible. My diet is 100% gluten-free. That's not a negotiable for me. I don't like being in severe pain. And I mostly stay corn-free and dairy-free because I've learned through a lot of experimentation that corn really gives me a lot of inflammation. It makes my joints hurt. And dairy, well, you don't want to be in the room with me when you have dairy because So through experimentation, I don't eat those on a regular basis. I will have them occasionally, like if I'm eating out or if I'm on vacation. However, 99% of the time, I don't eat them at home. But I do eat beans, grains, and sugar in moderation. And my plate usually has quite a few vegetables, some quality protein, healthy fats, and fruits. And yes, I do enjoy treats on occasion as well. I will have a pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks or a dessert, or sometimes you can find me holding a bag of peanut M&Ms and a Coke in the other hand. Yes, I am a health coach. I have Hashimoto's. I am not dead. I love food. I think you can enjoy life and have that balance as well. Now, if I ever do feel like run down or overly stressed, if I'm going through a period of acute stress or anything like that, I do tend to shift back more towards paleo because I really do feel my best when I am eating paleo. However, I don't need to if I'm not overly stressed or anything like that. I don't believe in eating any sort of restrictive diet for the sake of restriction. I just know that that's the diet that feeds me the best when I need extra nourishment and extra resetting. So what changed between 2014 and 2018 and then 2018 and now that has allowed me to have these lasting results and no flares? Honestly, it wasn't just about the food. When I was first healing back between 2014 and 2018, I was still a people-pleasing perfectionist, overachieving control freak, which left my body constantly stressed and trying to prove myself. This constant stress kept my body in fight or flight, which makes it very hard to heal. And the worst part is I didn't even realize that I was in any sort of chronically stressed state. I didn't know. I just thought that was the way I was. So the first step was really learning that trying to be liked and feeling worthy was really getting in the way of my health goals. Over the years, I started to unravel all of that. And then I did a lot of nervous system work. Things like Qigong, somatic release, yoga, journaling, breath work, hypnosis, and then letting go of that need to prove myself and to do everything right. Now my body feels safe. And when your body feels safe, you can digest that much better. Then inflammation drops, and then you can tolerate a lot more foods. But that's the big secret, though. It's not just what's on your plate. It's how regulated and at ease your body is when you eat it. So the question I often get is, doing AIP worth it? Well, yes, I think AIP is 100% worth it. I think it is one of the most effective starting places for someone who has autoimmune disease and wants to feel better. It is one of the best ways to give your gut a vacation, a way to heal, so that way it can drop the inflammation and to stop the immune system overreaction. But AIP alone is not the full story. Pairing it with nervous system regulation, emotional release, and stress work is when it's going to be sustainable. So food starts the healing, but the nervous system is what anchors it so that it can last. Everything that I've learned over the last decade, the nutrition, the somatic release, the nervous system work, the mindset shifts, it's all in my program, the Full Body Health Reboot. It's the exact step-by-step framework that has allowed me to stay flare-free for over 7 years. And it's the missing piece that other programs don't have. They usually just give you diet or the mindset stuff or whatever it is, but nobody actually goes through all of the steps so that not only can you heal, but make it stick. So if you would like to drastically shorten your healing curve, I will put the link in the description below if you want to check that out. And if you're brand new to all of this and really don't understand anything about the AIP diet, I will put that video right here. But thanks for watching. I will try not to go another 7 years without doing an update, but hopefully that helped, and I will see you next week.